Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call this meeting to order today and welcome everybody here for our August the 14th, 2025 board meeting. And anybody that's in the virtual world, also thank you for coming today. Our first item on the agenda is the invocation by Pastor Lee Farmer.
Thank you for the opportunity to offer a prayer on your behalf.
Thank you.
Gracious God, thank you for the blessings of this day, for the opportunity that we have to live in such a wonderful community. Right now, I pray your blessings and guidance upon our Board of Supervisors as they meet tonight. Pray that you help them make decisions which will be the best for our community, as our community continues to grow and move forward. Thank you for the opportunity for service and for all those who serve our community. Bless us and guide us, and I pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right. We all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next item is approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions to it?
Mr. Chairman, for the closed meeting, we just need to add Section 1 and Section 8 along with Section 29.
Okay. And can we also put the closed meeting at the end of the public hearings? If that's all right with everybody? All right. If that's okay with everybody, I'll accept a motion to approve the agenda as it was amended.
So moved. Second.
And a motion second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Now, approval of the minutes. We have quite a few minutes tonight. First one is July 1, 2025, a special meeting. Any additions or changes to that? If not, I'll accept the motion to approve.
Move, we approve. Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against? All right. July the 10th, 2025, regular meeting. Any changes or deletions to it? If not, I'll accept the motion.
Move, we approve.
All right, I got a motion to have a second.
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right. July the 23rd, 2025, special meeting. Any additions or changes? If not, I'll accept the motion to approve that.
Motion to approve. Second.
All right. We've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, July the 29th. That's a special meeting. Any changes to it? If not, I'll take a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve.
All right. Got a motion and a second. All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those, all right. July the 30th, 25 was another special meeting. Any changes to that? If not, I'll accept the motion to approve.
So moved.
All right, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right.
Mr. Chairman, sorry to interrupt you. Go back and catch July 25th.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. July the 25th, 2025 was a special meeting. Any changes to that? If not, I'll accept the motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next would be our presentations. We have Northumberland County Public School Booster Club, Latoya B. and Kristen Sorella.
How's everybody this evening?
Good evening.
Good to see y'all.
Good to see you. Good to be seen. My name is Christian Cirilla. I'm a parent of a Northumberland, actually two Northumberland High School students and one elementary school student, and this is?
I'm Latoya B., and I am a parent of a Northumberland High School student, middle school.
So we are part of a committee of parents who have formed a new booster club, booster committee full of parents in the school system. And for those who don't generally know, a booster club is really there to supplement what is going on in athletic and competitive programs in the school system, both in volunteerism and funding.
Okay. Did you ask me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So why we started the Booster Club and reformed it was because parents recognized the clear opportunities to increase volunteerism, especially at the concession stands, support a wider range of events beyond just the major sports. And we also wanted to provide supplemental funding where the school budget is limited. Athletic funding is extremely limited, with most revenue only coming from the ticket sales. This financial reality makes it challenging to create value, engagement, and needed improvements for students, parents, and the broader community. COVID further diminished school spirit, making it more important than ever to rebuild pride and connection within our school system.
So in the past, and many other booster programs, they typically support athletic competitive programs only. In our case, we wanted to broaden that to include all competitive programs at the middle and the high school. So not just athletics, but also extend that to beta, chess clubs, debate clubs, any program that is going to compete in some form or fashion with a student or a team of students. Notably, the Beta Club has traveled at least to state competitions the last several years that my family's been involved in yours.
Maybe gone to
And
nationals.
they've gone to nationals and even placed 2 years ago in nationals, and I think some students placed this year in nationals. And so programs like that, in addition to the athletic programs, require additional funding, typically beyond what any school budget typically can carry. In addition to that, we also want to not just inject additional funding, but additional school spirit. Our goal is to fill as many stands at as many events with as much green and gold as we possibly can.
The goals and priorities: capital improvements, replacing and repairing scoreboards across all fields and in the gym, because none currently are in working order. Supplemental program funding, travel costs for academic teams competing at state and national levels, increasing attendance and participation. We want to fill the stands with more green and gold, which will boost ticket and concession revenue, and volunteer opportunities, encouraging the broader community to get involved with our students.
We have formed a 501c3. We have the preliminary paperwork indicating that it's officially in place, waiting for the official documents to come in. We've already begun fundraising efforts with bake sales at Lillian Lumber, which was a great success. We had a sunset cruise just a couple weekends ago with about 150 in attendance. Thanks to Tangier Island Cruises, who provided the vessel and the captain. And we sailed for 2 hours. We had lots of volunteers fund nearly 100% of the event. And it raised approximately $6,000. It was a sold-out event, and there's strong interest already for that to happen at least one other time this year, although I think attendees really wanted it again next week. We have upcoming events, things like fundraising dinners, dinner auctions, golf tournaments, and then a tacky traveling toilet fundraiser. You can ask questions about that once we're done. Tell them who we are.
Okay. We're groups of teachers, coaches, mentors, business owners, and community members, and also parents and caregivers, many without current students in the school system. We're united by a shared commitment to the success of our students.
So basically, the final mission is we're here to fill the gaps. We're here to drive support, volunteerism in and around the school for all competitive programs, and drive some more spirit, and again, bring volunteers together for the greater good of Northumberland schools. Any questions?
Gentlemen, you have any questions?
What does a scoreboard cost at the baseball field? I know that one is badly needing replacing. It's been that way for a couple of years now.
I don't know about the scoreboard at the baseball field, but we've recently priced the one for the football field, and I think that one is approximately 15 to 20, if I have my math right. And there are a variety of solutions out there, and so we work closely with the new principal, Mr. Regis, and the athletic director to figure out what they need, what funding they have, what funding they don't have, and then we're going to try to fill in the gaps. Our hope is that at some point, we have enough funding left over at the end of every calendar year, once all requests have been made, that we can begin building up for a scholarship program for Northumberland graduates.
Thank you. Thank you for your efforts.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Anything else? Thank you. All right. Next presentation is economic development. Bob Bullock, Karen Picker.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good evening. And thank you for your time, and give me the opportunity to give you an update on what EDC has done in 2025, and also set the tone and set the path of where we're planning to go the remainder of this year. We're searching.
Yeah, there you go.
Next slide, please. So our work primarily focused around 3 core priorities linking directly to your guidance as well as other regional objectives. These are not just broad themes, they're specific measurable initiatives with positive impact to the county. I have in each column all the different priorities that we had. The first one is promote tourism. And we looked at that as the activities and initiatives designed to attract visitors to Northumberland County, highlight local attractions, and boost spending at local businesses. The impact of this is that increased tourism brings in new revenue, supports local jobs, and strengthens the county's overall economy. If you look at the slide there, we have five different bullets on the first column, and it shows all the different areas that we focus on this particular year. And what's in red are the highlights and metrics, the accomplishments that we achieved. The first one is the Civil War in the Howland School. Our efforts to coordinate meetings with the Civil War Trails Organization and Howland Chapel School, the county's oldest schoolhouse. While the coordination is underway still, it will set a positive highlight on a cherished landmark in the county. And it'll introduce more people to come in and watch and look at this heritage relic that we have. Next one was the brochures. Through the money that we received from ARPA Tourism, we were able to distribute 25 or create 25,000 kayaking brochures that highlight all the kayaking facilities within Northumberland County. You can see the distribution. 4,500 have gone state and county-wide. 7,500 we were able to get through working with Lisa Hull at the I-64 Welcome Center. And the remainder's at my house. Please come by if you want some. We'll continue to distribute those as well. The next one is the Indian Creek Yacht and Country Club and the Junior Golf Association Golf Tournament. Big major, we hit that one out of the park, if I could say so myself. Nothing we did, but everything we did coordinating with the Indian Creek Yacht and Country Club as well as the AJGA. There was over 250 visitors in the county coming from 20 states and 4 countries. The economic impact was over $390,000 to not just Northumberland County, but Lancaster County as well. The good news is, well, we're still waiting to hear if AJGA is going to host the tournament or allow the tournament to be hosted again here for the next 2 years. It's looking pretty good. Then we have the Northumberland County video. If you recall, that is another ARPA Tourism feature that we were able to broadcast. You see there was 450,000 impressions. That means that's how many different times they were viewed across 6 gas stations and 2 restaurants that were distributed throughout Richmond, Fredericksburg, Woodbridge, and up to La Plata, Maryland. So we got a footprint out the door. We let people know who we are. We also have the video permanently fixed on our EDC webpage. The next one is the supporting the workforce developments. Now, Dr. Peak and I were trying to get some statistics for you to be able to show, well, how much did we progress from the previous year? Well, as it turns out, the data just wasn't that concrete for us. We did see that there was an overall increase of 15 employers from the previous year, but what we also saw is some companies left and some companies came back. So nothing quantifiable, and we're going to keep digging for that data. But with respect to supporting workforce development, we view that as efforts to strengthen the skills, training, and job readiness of local residents to meet current and future employer needs, as well as support businesses to attract job-seeking citizens. What's the impact? Well, a well-prepared workforce attracts and retains employers, create higher quality jobs, and long-term economic stability. The first one we did was a career expert. That's where we just got we bit into it. We cut our teeth on that one for the first time. Really, really good turnout because we had 6 businesses came. 5 students came as well, under 24 and under participated in that. And from that, we gained a lot of knowledge that helped us in the other aspects of supporting the workforce development. For example, the Virginia Talent and Opportunity Partnership, we held a workshop where 4 businesses signed up to be able to receive guidance on how to set up intern programs for their businesses. The importance of that is those internships would allow them to get grant money to be able to pay for any certifications that their new employees may need to require for the work. Partnered on the job fair with Northumberland County Schools and Bay Workforce Development Consortium. That was in April. That was from our lessons learned in November. Let me tell you, when we brought in Bay Workforce Development Consortium, it was a really big game changer. Because with that, 24 businesses came in. And with the pledge from the school principal, 100% of the 8th and 12th through 12th grades students participated in this fair. In fact, they're already looking forward to the next one, and that's one of the things we're going to be looking at. With respect to Business and Heritage Expo, again, we cut our teeth in that one. The intent behind that was to showcase at the farmers market some of our heritage businesses that are here in the county. Trying to cameo them, trying to get them to be able to see if there's anybody interested in employment here, or if they could find other people, or talk to us and talk to other people about their job. So that was another one where we increased our presence and we made ourselves aware, and now we're going to be able to expand upon that and get some more information. Now we talked about outreach and engagement. That's the proactive communication, relationships building with residents, businesses, and stakeholders to share information, gather input, and foster community collaboration. What's the impact? Well, the strong community engagement builds trust, ensures local priorities are addressed, and fosters partnership that accelerate economic growth. We've maintained some pretty consistent engagement with our stakeholders. The first one, you may recall, we all participated on that when we went to the Omega Protein Facility Tour. We did that to gain insights on their operations and the skills they require. Very helpful for us. And we maintained a dialogue with them too. In our EDC meetings, we had discovery sessions where we bring in varied and all focused on lessons to learn from seasoned businesses. We bring them in, we ask questions. What are their pain points within the county? What are the recommendations they see for the county? And it's a learning experience for us. Also, we have our commissioners who are out in the streets, walking in their districts, talking to their businesses on a one-on-one basis, getting to let them know who they are, getting to let them know what's going on. So what's attributable to this is that community interest is increasing. What I mean by that is we looked at the YouTube video of all of our EDC meetings, and about 472 views occurred within the past year. That equates to 54 per month, or 1.293 per day. I don't know if everybody's watching every day, but we did get some presence out there. Finally, we also launched our QR code for our Stay Due and Eat Mat. And that connects visitors directly, the map connects visitors directly to local tenants and businesses. This portable technology capability allowed us to incorporate the link in our brochures, in the promotional video, and on the AJGA website. So we continue to do the outreach, and we'll continue that for the next year. From these, we'll reinforce our strategic priorities, share our stories, conserve our heritage, advance economic vitality, and build strong regional partnerships. So where are we going next? Next slide, please. We feel that our governing documents, if you will, are what you see on the slides. First and foremost is the Northern Neck Heritage Area Management Plan. Those are the goals that are defined in the plan. It's still in draft, and most likely they'll be finalized for final review probably at the end of the year. We align that also with the Northern Neck 250 strategic framework, and you see what those goals are. And then we're also using the Planning Commission's draft community growth, pillars of community growth, which is in the draft comprehensive plan. And then we align those with the same priorities that we have. And we may have to add another priority. We're not sure. We're still at the formulating stage of that. But a driving force in that is the meeting that we had with you recently about the Northumberland County land use analysis. And we think that's going to be a critical component to see how we set the tone, how we direct our priorities, and working with the planning district, the planning commission is going to be very helpful. Good news is, and thanks to Mr. McKenzie, it seems to me that we're potentially going to be getting the digitized map by the end of September. So that's going to be another multiplier for us as we move forward. So to sum it up, the EDC has gained momentum over the past year. Measurable tourism gains, workforce engagement, and community outreach, and we're strategically positioning ourselves for the future. Our goal is to keep building partnerships, capitalize on grant funding opportunities, and make data-driven decisions that benefit Northumberland County for years to come. Dr. Peek.
Karen Peek, District 4 Rep and also Commissioner of the EDC. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to share. We've heard some comments from citizens saying, look, what is the EDC doing and how come you're not out there banging the drum on some things? So here we are. We want to make sure that the Board of Supervisors understands that we've got an executive director that works 40 hours a month. We have 2 commissioners that have foregone their stipend. We returned $3,000 in a budget request this year to the county because of the stress under which the county finds itself. So I think Mr. Bullock has done a great job, Mr. Bullard, of outlining where we want to go. Data are critically important. We're looking at these data. We're looking at the job data. The relationships that we formed, I think, are critical. So the AJGA tournament, we did some outreach to the school to make sure the athletic director was involved, the golf coach got involved, the boosters got involved. The QR code that Bob talked about, which was developed under ARPA funding, is going to last us a long time. That was actually on the Junior Golf Association website. We had that placed on their website to drive visitors on the internet to the county Do Stay Eat map. So people that were coming into the county looking for a place to stay, looking for something to do, if they were coming to that golf tournament, they got a direct link to the Northumberland County website where you could find these businesses if you wanted to have ice cream, if you wanted to find something free to do. What we worked with the Indian Creek Yacht and Country Club was to position ourselves as the family-friendly alternative, if you will, there's a lot of things to do in Lancaster County and Kilmarnock. If you wanted to find something that was a little bit maybe more economical, you were stressed on your budget a little bit, come to Northumberland County and enjoy the trails, enjoy the kayaking. So we are positioned very well in this county to attract a lot of tourists in that respect. Mr. Basie has done an excellent job in keeping us in the loop on what's going on in the county. I have to thank Mr. McKenzie. That digital map is going to be critically important. We have businesses that want to know what the zoning is in the county. They should not, in the year 2025, have to come to the county courthouse to look at a paper document. So it's important if people are trying to bring in investment in this county that they have something they can look at. So if you would like more information on a more regular basis, we're happy to share it. We submit reports every month. I think it's critically important for us to continue to do outreach. The relationships that we formed with the school, with the Warsaw Bay Consortium Group, with the Virginia Talent and Opportunity Project, that workshop that was hosted in January was designed to allow local businesses to qualify for matching funds to start their own intern programs. If you wanted to start an intern or apprenticeship program, you could get funds that would offset the salaries so that you wouldn't have to find money in your own budget to do that. Those are the kinds of things we'd like to bring to the county, and we just want to make sure that the supervisors are aware. We also have Mr. Johnson, who is embedded, if you will, with the Planning Commission. So that plan that's coming out that has tasks in it for the EDC, those are going to be things on which we're working. So we're going to make sure that the 40 hours a month that we have in dedicated support is strategically going to outcome-driven activities, not process-driven activities. And thank you for listening. If there are any questions, we're happy to answer.
Any questions?
Well, I have one, but I see you when we have a break, if you're still there.
I'll be here. You know me, I don't go around. Not in these meetings.
I don't have a question, but have you reached out to the Hometown Association in Callio? Because they're doing the park. We got the Fisherman's Museum in Reedville. What is the group that's doing the restoration on the old school? Festival Hall, I'm sorry.
The Julius, yeah.
I think they would.
Greater Reedville Association.
Right.
Great.
I think they would be some key players in this as well.
I agree 100%. And yes, we've got our commissioners working with those groups. We've also got, for example, there is a fund that the county has working with Mrs. King. We're trying to rejuvenate the grant process for the county has funds that can be available to businesses. I was just in touch yesterday with someone who wants to start a business. We're trying to resurrect that process too, to make sure that we can recoup the money that's already been loaned out, but start that loan process over again. Yes, we've been in touch. The commissioners are definitely in touch. We host listening sessions. There's more that we can do, Mr. Brand. There's more.
Whole lot.
And no, we're not going to get a McDonald's. If you're going to ask me that on the break, I'm here to say, I don't think that's going to happen, but we're trying to get other businesses.
Yes, I hope so. The Rosenwald, I don't know if you heard of that.
The Rosenwald Foundation, yeah, for the
Yes.
school.
Have you reached out?
I have not personally, no, sir.
Yeah, I think it's very important that you reach out to them. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right,
Thank you.
thank y'all. All right, next would be the county reassessment update. Mr. Pearson?
Thank you very much. I'm Fred Pearson with Vision. Originally signed the contract with Pearson's Appraisal Service, but I sold my company December the 5th to Visions, and now I'm an employee of theirs. But I am conducting the reassessment. I'll be your assessor for the reassessment. Your reassessment will go into effect January 1st, 2026. And I just want to let you know I've completed an initial sales study. This sales study will be still adding July sales to it, August, and hopefully September sales. But to give you an idea of percent increases, on waterfront homes that have sold for less than $500,000 or $500,000, you had about 62% of market. They can expect about a 53% increase. That's on the average. Some would be more and some would be less. Homes that sold between $500,000 to $750,000, and we had right at $30 million worth of sales in that category. You're at 58% of market now. They can expect about a 64% increase. Homes sold between $765,000 to $1 million. There were about $14 million worth of sales. You're at 59% of market. You can expect about a 66% increase. Homes that sold around $1 million or over, you're at 51% of market. They can expect about an 86% increase. That's waterfront homes. Overall, you're looking at about 70% increase. I also looked at sales from just 2024 compared to about 2025. Sales have increased about, the price has increased between 4 and 5%. And as I said, we're still adding sales for July. hopefully add them for August and September. On waterfront lots, there's not going to be much change. It's less waterfront lots at around $100,000. Sale price between $100,000 and $150,000. You got about 80% of market, about a 19% increase. $150,000 to $200,000. You're at 74% of market, 28% increase. Over $200,000, you're at 62% of market, about a 53% increase. Overall, on waterfront lots or properties, about a 19% increase. Non-waterfront homes. We looked at around $25 million in sales. That's 2024, 2025. You have 56% of market. You look at approximately 70% increase. And of course, we're still going to be adding sales. Double wides, mobile homes, you got 61% of market, 56% increase. Commercial properties, we did not have many sales, but you're at 83% of market, approximately 15% increase. Land less than 20 acres, 40% increase. Over 20 acres, you're at 72% of market, about 39% increase. Waterfront land over 20 acres, we have 44% of market, about 115% increase. We hope to finish everything up. We're going to have the notices in the mail, be late October, early November. I've been working off and on for Northumberland County for over 35 years. This is the largest increase I've seen. Any questions?
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Pearson? Mr. Pearson, looks like me it's one of the highest rates, highest increases I've ever seen.
Yes, sir. To my knowledge, it's the largest increase.
Yes, sir, it is. Any board members have any comments or questions?
What are the increases based on?
Sales, property sales. And what I've done is compare those to the assessed values. Sir, anytime you get these large increases, it's rough. And it's just going to be the roughest reassessment you ever had. You're going to have more appointments than you've ever had. But my job is to reflect market value. That's what I have to do. I don't like it, but I have to do it.
So the high
It's going
cost,
to be very controversial.
high cost of the homes, not all good.
Keep in mind, these are on the average.
Right.
Some are going to go up more than that, some's going to be less. We're going to listen to people. We do not make interior inspections of homes. There could be things about a house we don't know about. We're going to listen, and we're going to try our best to make sure everybody gets a fair and equitable assessment, but you're going to get a large increase in your assessed value.
Can you comment as to whether or not these increases we're seeing in other counties in the Northern Neck that have recently had reassessments?
I don't know too much about those. I'm doing other counties now. I do work in Virginia, North Carolina. We've been getting some large increases. And it's just not easy. I've got to sit down and listen to these people, and it's not an easy task to do. But I'm going to be nice and courteous to everybody and try to make sure everybody has a fair assessment. But anytime when they come in, if they got problems with their house and need to bring some pictures in, mostly on the inside, and just let me know what they are. And any information, any sales information they want to bring any information that's going to help me brother determine the value of their property, I want it.
All right, so notices will be out in October, early November.
That's correct.
Okay,
Hearings will be in November.
okay. All right.
And
Any-
I'd be happy to meet with you later when I get the July sales in, August sales in, and give you an update.
All right, that would be great, too. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, too, Mr. Pearson. All right. Next is the update from Northumberland County Schools. Dr. Leslie?
Good evening, Chair and Boards of Supervisors. Thanks for letting us present this evening. I had a couple of quick things I wanted to go through. I do have Mr. Regan on the line because we did have some financial information and updates and a request that Mr. Regan will make for the school board. But before I did that, I just wanted to take the opportunity to welcome back our students who started earlier this year. We're going to complete our first week, and we had a really great opening. And I just wanted to thank the Northumberland community. We had an excellent Pack the Bus last year, and we've gotten so many supplies for our kids from the community. And also Callio Moose Lodge made a huge donation to us, and I just wanted to thank them for all the supplies. Like I said, as well as the community of Northumberland, and Zion Church in Lotsburg also gave us some donations and helped us out with our convocation when we brought our teachers back. Just to really make it a nice event for us. They donated some money and some food for us. So that was a really nice thing. So moving forward on finance, obviously we have the new director of finance here with us today. We do not have July reports to share with you at this point because for July we didn't have any commerce happening. It did take a little time to get all the budget appropriated and uploaded into the system, so we didn't have any payments that were happening during that time. So we have only been able to get all of the purchase orders through the system and approved this week. So payments are happening this week, but that happened, I believe, starting yesterday, perhaps the day before. So it's very fresh of anything that we have. There wasn't any activity in July that we would be able to capture in our system. Questions so far?
Questions, gentlemen?
Okay. So at this point, however, I do want to just say on the upside, we have things now that are moving. We are moving in the direction. The purchase orders are in. They're getting approved. We have payments going out. So we should see that things start rolling along normally. But it was a bit of a slow start for us. But I do want to turn it over to Mr. Regan. I know that you all have received some information from us looking at the quarterly appropriations that we were given. We are looking at some issues, and I'll let him flesh that out a little better, because the school division pays some of the contracts that we have up front at the beginning of the year for things like technology licenses. Ms. Ashton may be able to speak better to that. It chews up those allocations out of the gate, and so it's very difficult to pay any other bills that come in. But like I said, I'll allow Mr. Regan to embellish on that, and then I'll be happy to answer questions if that's okay with the board.
All right, okay. Mr. Regan?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Talk to everyone. As the superintendent indicated, we understand and appreciate the way that the funds to the schools have been appropriated. Currently, we've gotten a quarterly appropriation of our annual budget that will take us through September 30th. By giving us a quarterly appropriation, or by giving the schools a quarterly appropriation, inherent in that is the assumption that costs are incurred in the normal course of schools' operations evenly throughout the year. And that, as the superintendent has indicated, is not the case. There are many types of expenditures that the schools incur up front in the first month or two of the fiscal year that benefit the remainder of the fiscal year. IT contracts, supplies purchases, I mean, there are a long list, and you can see some of that in the appendix to the document that we have provided to you for your consideration this evening. Further, there are also larger contracts that and expenditures that the school board incurs throughout the year that will be very administratively burdensome on the procurement side or the purchase order side administratively. For instance, Dominion Power, where we would have to be entering numerous purchase orders each quarter if the money for that is appropriated to us only in quarterly allotments. So there's going to be a lot of staff time that is spent on those administrative burdens of a whole bunch of purchase orders and then a whole bunch of invoices getting processed. So what we did, my team did, was we went back through the prior year, looked at those larger expenditures, and I had a cutoff basically of $25,000 and above. And we looked at how much was incurred in the prior year. We made sure that those funds were again budgeted for in the total 2026 budget, which was previously approved. And then we made a haircut of 10%, so that what we're asking for is an allotment of our budget for 90% of those 2025 expenses to be provided to us today so that we can more effectively and efficiently and cost effectively manage the purchase order and payment process of these expenditures. Absent this, my next step will be to go back through, look at all of the contracts that we have to pay upfront, go back and either renegotiate payment terms with those vendors that more accurately reflect the way that the budget is being appropriated to us. And also, if they choose not to because they have a written contract there, then I will have to analyze the penalties and interest that we would need to pay on those contracts to fulfill our contractual obligation of payment of those outside of the contracted payment terms. I have not had a chance to do that analysis to date, but I suspect that it will cost in the thousands of dollars, if not the tens of thousands of dollars of funds that have not been budgeted for in the 2026 budget. So we're respectfully requesting your consideration of approving these dollars to be encumbered, so we can execute purchase orders and effectively and efficiently administer the purchasing function of the schools.
All right, any board members have any questions? Any other comments, Mr. Reagan?
No, just that these funds are in the budget. They do not represent an increase of anything that was in beyond what was in the 2026 budget that was passed by presented by the superintendent, approved by the schools, and then approved by this county board.
All right, did I hear you say that you went through and found anything that was from 25,000 and up, and that's what you put in here?
I tried to find the biggest ones, the 25,000 and above.
All right, now, are these yearly payments, are they monthly payments, or semi-annual, or what?
It's a mix of all of the above.
So, Mr.
Some of them are monthly, some of them are semi-annual, some of them are annual.
So some of what he had pulled there in that list are reoccurring payments like Dominion Electric. We also got large bills at the beginning of the year. For example, we got one, you can tell me for what it was in technology, for almost $130,000. That services us for the whole year, but the contract would be paid up front. So that was the issue, is that it would eat up everything in the appropriation, leaving us unable to pay, salaries and other bills. But what he has listed out there for you at the bottom, as far as I recall, Mr. Egan, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not looking at it, but I know Dominion, that's electric, so that's a recurring cost.
That's
Right.
that's a monthly bill.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I'm just thinking, why are you asking for a lump sum when it's a monthly bill?
And I don't get it either. Burdensome was used, the word was used, burdensome. How is it more burdensome to the staff at the school to make those monthly purchase orders? I don't get it.
Entering 12 versus 1, that's 11 more than is necessary.
Understood, but how much of a burden, actual burden is that?
You add 11 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to enter 100, 150 extra purchase orders that don't need to be entered.
How much of a burden is it to enter a purchase order?
You've got a very poor system. Just so you know, it took me to approve purchase orders. There were 24 discrete steps that I have to take to approve a purchase order.
But you're in the trial and error step right now. You haven't gotten this thing perfected yet. This is all a learning process for all the staff and all.
No, I mean, once I go through and approve the first couple, my learning curve was steep at the beginning and then not so steep. But I jotted down the notes, as I indicated in the meeting with you the last time, and in the meeting with the school board on Monday evening. One of the things that we were going to leave behind at the end of this was a how-to manual on how to do these various tasks. So I have been noting all of the different input screens and taking screen captures of all of the different steps that I have to do for the various things that me and my team are doing. So no, the 24 steps wasn't, down to 15 steps of real steps and 9 steps of error. Those are the actual steps that I have to do to get a purchase order through the system. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty burdensome for that, to do that.
Some of these vendor payments are one-time payments. So the number that you cited was if all of these were 12-month payments, right? Or once-a-month payments to these vendors.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that on the first screen that are roughly large monthly recurring expenditures. So 8 times 11 is 88.
The next group is the one that I thought had more vendors that just required one annual payment.
Correct. So let's take, for example, the Intervision IT services for the $65,000. I have to pay all of that today. All right?
Yep.
I've only got 15, 16,000 of that, whatever 1/4 of the 64 is in the budget today that has been approved. So I have to short pay that invoice.
I fully understand why you're coming to us for a payment
Yeah.
such as that one. That's one time, and I understand why you need the money because it wasn't, it was budgeted, but it wasn't given to you in that quarter. And I understand why you need more money in that quarter to make those vendor payments, that particular vendor payment and others like it. It's the others that I still have questions about.
Okay?
All right, could you give us a list of all your vendor payments that are 6 months and a 1-year contract, so we can look at them. As far as electric bill, fuel purchases, that's all monthly items. Amazon business, that's monthly. You know, all of your other office supplies or school supplies, that can be done monthly.
I mean, I can provide whatever the board requests. I'll provide it to the school board first, so that they're aware of all the information that is being provided to this board. I was severely admonished the other night at our meeting because I was not appropriately deferential to the role that the school board is playing in all of this. It was probably one of the 2 or 3 most uncomfortable meetings I've had in my 36-year professional career. That includes testifying in front of Congress and in front of the DC City Council.
Well, it looks like to me you're asking for what, $2,360,000?
That's,
I
I
think that's what
believe,
you got there.
yep. It's not new money. It is money that is in the budget that was approved. It's just not been allotted.
I know it has not been allotted, that's true. And monthly bills, they should be paid monthly.
Yep, and I'm trying to make sure, again, that we're not overly burdening the staff in the administration of these purchasing functions.
Any other board members have any comments, questions?
So I guess you're requesting the bills that are going to be paid every 6 months?
6 months and 1 year.
And 1
That's
year.
what I'm requesting.
Okay.
I cannot see grouping all of the monthly bills together and paying them.
Mr. Chairman, we've got a brand-new financial director in the county.
Yeah.
You mind if I ask her opinion?
I would like to hear her opinion.
I think for clarification purposes, what Mr. Regan is saying is that the purchase order would be for the full of 90% of the amount that is anticipated to be required for payment for the upcoming year. The bills themselves would get paid monthly.
Correct.
Just wouldn't be a purchase order for each bill. The bill would be applied against the purchase order, and we would keep track of how that was going as far as the payment and what was allotted for that expense.
Yep.
Does that help?
The bills are paid as they come due. We're not paying in advance. All this is doing, what is constant, one of the struggles that I've had in this engagement is there is a distinct difference between budget and payment. Because the historical process has been so broken, the obligation against the budget has never been incurred until after the legal liability and after the invoice has already been received. All we're trying to do is to say, for instance, for power, and that's, Ms. Whaley is exactly right, is, we're going to incur $500,000 worth of electric costs during the entire year. Let me get that set aside out of the budget so that no one else can get to it. And then I will pay the $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month that come in, or whatever the number is, against that purchase order as they come due. But by putting the purchase order in the system, no one else can try and grab that budget for one reason or another. And it is, and it is, whether you want to believe it or not, 2 is more than 1 and 3 is more than 1. So there is an additional burden for every additional purchase order that needs to be entered into the system. You add that up, across multiple different vendors, that time adds up pretty quickly.
All right. Ms. Whaley,
Yes.
I want to introduce you to the people here, the people online today. You are our new financial director. I'm getting one mixed up. Financial director. Want to welcome you here.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you on board.
I appreciate that.
This lady is going to be helping us with the school budget, so. All right. I'm glad to have you on board.
Thank you very much, and we're starting to dig into things and get familiar with everything and working with the software and Mr. Regan and the superintendent and all of the members of that team. So, but I look forward to working with everyone, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Any board members have any other questions for Mrs. Whaley before she sits down?
So you don't have any problem with us going through these moves of money?
The reoccurring ones for, like, I'm going to say Dominion, the amount of the purchase order for the estimated amount for the year, that is something that I would be watching to make sure it wasn't going out of bounds. In other words, if there was an issue, I would be tracking it as far as on a monthly basis what was happening there.
That's reassuring.
Okay.
Ms. Whaley, I think speaking for myself, but the major concern is just that the money does not go out of bounds. That's our
Right.
biggest concern. The old saying, you get bit once and it's your fault, but you don't want to get bit twice.
Right. I agree.
And that's the main concern around this table today is that very thing.
And I think the idea with the blanket purchase order is, in the past, we did not use blanket purchase orders for all of our expenditures. So they did not say, we're going to spend $500,000 on Dominion. Well, that might have been what they did. So when they're looking at the account, it's not always clear that we still have money that we have to pay out. This encumbers the fund, so we already know that's hands off, can't spend that money, right? It's already been taken out. So that's, in addition to the administrative cost that Mr. Regan was saying, that's really the, hey, that money's locked up, we already know we have to pay it out, and it goes here.
Also why it's only 90%, because we wanted to make sure that we didn't go up to that budget level. This actually facilitates, it's actually more difficult to track that cumulative spend on these monthly recurrings if I can only put in a quarter's purchase order.
I guess I'm confused a little bit. I understand the blanket purchasing order concept. But when we went through our forensic audit, there were issues with coming up with more firmer numbers due to lack of invoices and lack of purchase orders. And now we don't want to do purchase orders every month for a bill. And I guess that's why I'm confused.
I know I'm going to be spending, $65,000 on, well, no, let me go up. I'm looking at the wrong one. We know we're going to be spending around $450,000 or so on Dominion Power. So we want to be able to enter that amount into the purchase orders and then be able to track monthly whether or not, we'll have that monthly invoice. The proper way to do purchase orders is to enter the purchase order first and then the invoice. That's the way it has to work. And that is not the way that it has worked in the past at the schools. That's what we're trying to stop. Now, the middle ground here, that will be more administratively burdensome, is to not permit the allotment request for the quarterly, for the quarterly expenditures. For the large recurring expenditures. What we would do there is then we will enter a $115,000 purchase order for Dominion Power, which is roughly the 1/4 that you appropriated for us. And then we will pay the July invoice, the August invoice, and the September invoice against that purchase order. But then I'm going to have to turn around and enter another purchase order in the next month for the quarter October, November, December, once that quarterly allotment is freed up. And then, for that one, for instance, for Dominion Power, there might be 10 or 12 different lines that power has to be allocated to at the various schools and different departments where those costs are to be distributed. So, it's a fairly administratively intense process, and then we'll do it again in the third quarter and again in the fourth quarter. But if we don't get the allotment for the large contractual expenditures, we will absolutely be in contract violation. And we will be incurring penalties and interest, or we'll have to go back and negotiate terms with the vendors that are going to be less favorable to the county and to the school board because of the way that we are choosing to fund those expenses.
All right, now why wasn't this brought to our attention when we were doing the budget for the school board?
I don't think you had anybody in that role.
I don't think we had anyone who knew. Nobody that we had on staff had done a fiscal year and gone through what the spending looked like.
So they've already got some things that need to be paid now.
Yeah, I know, they got things that need to be paid.
So I think we need to, let's look at what they need now, and if we need to.
I don't have a problem with giving them the extra money to pay a yearly or semi-annual contract. I have no problem at all with that. I'm just questioning, like Dominion Power or Noble Propane.
I don't want late fees and.
But I don't want any extra charges to occur. I'm just not too comfortable yet.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
is there a sense as to, for the annual contracts and the 6-month contracts, is there a sense of that cost for over the August, September, October timeframe? I'm just thinking of cash flow with
So that's going to
real estate
require
coming back in.
assistance from UHY. Everything's going to have to be pulled again. We don't have anyone who has sat this and seen how these payments have gone out. So we're going to have to pull everything and put together a schedule. I mean, I can't tell you when every contract was signed last year. We have contracts that are from several years rolling over. So the quick answer is, yes, I think it can be done, but I don't think that it can be done quickly. I think that it's all going to need to be pulled. We're going to have to look at historic payments. Somebody's going to have to go through the system and see when these different contracts came about and those payments were made.
That was one of my other questions, is what impact is this going to have on what we had? We don't have anything now. We had to borrow money.
Mr. County Administrator, that's a fair request. If you can give me a couple of days, I can pull together when these expenses have been incurred by month in the past for these vendors that are on both of these lists, so that you can see what those cash flows look like. I would like, especially for the large contractual expenses, the second table, to bump those up against the actual contracts themselves. Candidly, we are still trying to track down where some of those records are being maintained, so that we can dive through those. I know that the superintendent and I were trading some emails earlier today about tracking that listing down. There's no central repository. It seems like there's a decentralized filing process on that, and we'll centralize that. It'll facilitate the 27 budget preparation, because one of the things that we would like to get to the point of on a go-forward basis is being able to schedule out that cash flows information so that it does, and provide that to the new finance director for her, so that she and the treasurer can coordinate the cash planning needs of the county.
Well, gentlemen, I think we all got this notice at the same time, because I got it Wednesday at 9:25 p.m. And I haven't had much time to look at this today. And I hate to make a decision right on the spur of the moment, but I would like for Mr. Reagan to get his information straight for us.
I feel like I've got straight information. I may not have it at the level of detail that the board is now asking for. I don't know what to tell you about the when this was presented to you. I know I presented it earlier than yesterday.
Well, I'm just looking at the email I got. That's all I'm looking at.
I can't speak to that, because I don't think I sent that email.
No, you did not. No, you did not. Ms. Whaley, you have any other comments?
I do. There are, at this point, a lot of past due bills that really need to be paid. One of the major ones that has, at this point, incurred a 10% late fee is the one for the technology. That's $127,000 plus. And that really does need to be paid. Otherwise, it's just going to incur more expense. And I think Dr. Leslie has been in contact with them, and hopefully if we can make the payment, they would eliminate the late fee.
How much was allocated in that quarter?
That, it was...
Good evening to the board, good evening to the community. For the technology account, what I can remember, I think it was $232,000, I think 15 some odd thousand was already utilized for payroll. And so that was just one of the many technology bills. The way that technology works, because I was the former director of technology, is 90% of the technology bills are due July. It's annual. So that one bill itself was $127,000. And then there were other bills that needed to be paid, and there wasn't enough money appropriated to pay those bills because we had a really large one that had to be paid. And that takes care of all our security equipment. So that's across the entire division. licenses, all of that good stuff. Door access, security cameras, network, I mean, it's a lot. So that's why that bill, that would eat up the majority of the appropriation.
Forgive me, I didn't hear you answer it. So how much was allocated in the first quarter?
$232,000.
237, okay.
Yes, sir.
$32,000 first quarter.
I think so, yes.
That's correct.
It's tad like we don't have so much money. Questions, gentlemen? Comments? I don't know what y'all are thinking, but
Well, I think with the money issue with the county, I think we need to break it down and look at what we need from now until October.
I can't hear you, Jimmy. I can't hear
I said
you.
with the situation, we had to borrow money for the county, I think we need to break this down and see what's needs to be paid out in 6 months, 12 months. We got one bill now that's past due. And I think a lot of this is going to depend on what Mr. Tadlock can bring back to us as far as what this is going to do to our finances.
That's true. That's why I was asking for 6 months and 1 year payments.
It's not like we have that sitting around anymore. So I think that's what we're going to have to do.
And one other thing you want to think about, our appropriations are done in categories. This is not in categories. How can we give a lump sum? Oh, it has to be set up in categories.
I think that can be done as well.
Yep, that can be done. It doesn't take too long to do that, but that's the way it would have to be done. And a certain amount going in each category.
Yep, no, you're absolutely right.
Mr. Reagan, you said you needed a couple days to get these numbers back to us?
I've been trading emails with my staff, and we're going to pull that information together as quickly as we can.
Okay.
And with that, I'll put together as well. I'll do my best to put together the penalties and interest that that will incur by contract should we not get the allotments beyond the quarterly, so that the board has that information.
Okay.
And we'll present it to the school board. And then it'll come to the county. I've also made a request of the county administrator and the superintendent to consult with legal counsel to determine whether or not any contract renewals that need to be done. If there is not sufficient budget that has been appropriated at the time that contract is being asked to be signed, if under Virginia law, they're allowed to actually sign that. I don't know if they can. So in other words, if I've got a $120,000 contract that's going to run me through the end of June 30th, and it's going to run me from July 1 to June 30th, and I've only got $30,000 of budget appropriation today, is the schools legally permitted to sign that contract?
Well, that's one of the
I don't
problems
know the
we've
answer to
had
that.
before, is things being done without the money being there.
Well,
And that's what we have to
what
stop
we're trying to change. That's what we're trying to change.
Yeah, and just, as you just said, if the money is not there, I don't think you should sign that contract.
And so we do that, or, we have to negotiate different contract terms.
Well, that may be the next step to do. Check on some negotiation with the contracts.
Yep, and we will get a breakdown that shows, in doing that, we'll ask for an analysis from that vendor that says, here's the cost if you pay us annually, here's the cost if you pay us quarterly, here's the cost if you pay us monthly. And so that the additional cost by paying quarterly or the additional cost by paying monthly will be apparent for everyone.
All right. Board members have any more questions?
Well, what are we going to do? They've got one vendor payment that needs to be made. Are we going to make arrangements to take care of that tonight? And if we're not, when are we going to?
That's up to this board.
I think on that one, we'd be better off to go on and take care of it tonight and not have a penalty.
I think I'd put that in the motion.
All right, now which category does it go in?
Technology.
Technology, and what is your dollar amount?
120, I guess we would ask for 128,000. It's 127, I think 400.
So it's 127,400, so 128?
128.
All right, gentlemen, is that what y'all want to do? All right, somebody make a motion, and that goes into the technology category. I can't hear you, Mr. Long. Mr. Long, put your microphone over closer to you, please.
I make a motion that we appropriate that amount.
Of $128,000 that goes into the technology category.
Yes.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, do I have any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against? All right, motion passes. Is that all you need on that, Mr. Tadlock?
I believe so. Anything else? Yeah. No, we'll get the paperwork. We just got to get that signed. But
good enough.
that's all board action we need.
All right. That'll get you straight on that one.
Mr. Long.
Need a break?
Yeah, I got to pick up some paper.
All right, Mr. Long, you want to take a quick break?
Right.
We will take a 10-minute break here. Let's call this meeting back to order, and thank you all for allowing us to have a 10-minute break here. All right, one item I think we need to do is, on our last motion, we made a motion to allow the school to have $128,000 in the technology category. I want to make a motion that not to take the money away from them, but I want to have that $128,000 deducted from their total budget in the technology department. So it won't look like we're giving them an additional $128,000.
To the budget.
To the budget, yes. Is
that your motion?
That's my motion.
I'll second it.
that.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against? All right. Now, any other business on the school side before we move on? All right. Next would be an update from the Virginia Department of Transportation. Mr. Beal?
Hey, good evening. It's good to be back with you all.
Good to have you back.
We have been busy. We've cut brush on Harry Hogan Road, Route 200, and on Mundy Point Road, Folly Road, Campground Road, and the Sherwood Forest subdivision. We cleaned ditches on Mundy Point Road, Lighthouse View Road, Blunden Road, and Movie Hall Lane, as well as Gideon. We've repaired potholes and signs countywide, as well as addressed work orders and responded to incidents. On the agenda, we have we plan to cut brush on Gardy's Mill Road and Fruit Plain Road. We'll be cleaning ditches on Flood Point and Lake Landing. We have pipe replacement to do on Gagnon and Lake Landing. We have shoulder repairs on 360 Walnut Point Road and Cone Stage Road, and we'll keep up with potholes and work orders countywide. The plant mix schedule, we're still waiting on the striping to be finished up on most of those routes. Should be complete very soon. Forest green, we're still planning to get to that later this fall. We did receive a petition and a letter from citizens regarding the condition of Lighthouse View Road. Coincidentally, we had some ditching planned there that has already occurred. I did talk with Mr. Bertino today. We have some more work to do there on the pavement surface that I expect to get to in the next couple of weeks to try to true up the cross-section on that road. I did ask for it to be placed back on the resurfacing schedule. That actually won't occur until 2027. So we have a short-term plan to improve the pavement condition as well as a longer-term plan as well. The road carries, based on our 2023 count, it was just over 200 cars a day. It was last resurfaced in 2020. Those are the updates I have for you all. If you all have any questions for me,
All right.
I'm happy to take them.
Mr. Williams, I think you had some comments on that.
Mr. Bertino is here tonight. If now would be an appropriate time for him to come up.
Yes, he can come up.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I thank the board for the opportunity to give this little presentation. I'm a resident of Jay's Reach, which is on Lighthouse View Drive, just off Lighthouse View Drive. And basically, we have a situation where the roadway has created a dangerous situation for all of our citizens. It's a narrow road. The road bed is 16 feet wide. And the number of homes that have been constructed down in that neck of the woods has increased dramatically. So there are more vehicles, some quite large. There's boat trailers. And we have some very, very serious situations with the roadway. We have two very dangerous curves where, although unreported, there have been many incidents where we've actually had to pull vehicles out of the ditches or out of the woods because they made the turn a little too fast. Visibility on those turns is horrible. In a couple of cases, the woods comes right up to the shoulder of the road and you can't see someone coming down the hill. And many times somebody comes down that hill a little too fast. And I'm not here alone tonight. I'm here with a number of residents who use Lighthouse View Drive all the time. And we could recount numerous stories of encountering situations where we almost had head-on collisions because of the narrowness of the roadway and because the visibility is so bad. I would invite anybody here to take a ride down Lighthouse View. I think it's Route 649. And I think when the road bed was originally laid, it was a road to nowhere. There weren't many homes. There wasn't very little development. But now it's a road to somewhere. and there are a lot of homes and a lot of vehicles. And I think the danger is made worse by a lot of larger vehicles come rolling down that way. You know, we got deliveries every day from UPS and Amazon and FedEx, and there's a lot more traffic, I think, than most people realize. But basically what we would like to do is to have the Virginia Department of Transportation take a look at the roadway. Anybody who's taken a ride from the beginning at the Ophelia Post Office down to the end, turned around and came back, if you stayed in your lane and did the posted speed limit, you'd come out of your seat a couple of times in your vehicle. That's how bad the road bed has become over the years. Mr. Beal said, you know, it's been resurfaced. I'm sure that's a very, very subjective term. If you ask 10 people what resurfacing is, you'll get 10 different answers. Basically, there's a lot of ruts, there's a lot of bumps. A few of them will bump your head on the ceiling of your car if you go over them a little too fast. So basically, we're asking for repaving, whatever that means. The road needs to be graded and resurfaced. I'm not going to call it paving because I don't really know what that definition of the term is. Drainage and signage has been an issue. There's one 90-degree turn right after the post office, when you go by the post office, and we've pulled pickup trucks out of the woods because there's no sign there with a big yellow sign with a big black arrow on it saying that you can't go any further than this. When weather conditions are bad, people just keep going straight, and despite the fact that there was a little sign with a curve on it and an arrow halfway to it, I don't think many people see that, basically, and it creates an issue. In some situations, you know, you might be able to straighten the road out where the curves are. I don't know, I'm not a roadway engineer, but if you took a ride, you'd see oncoming traffic is very, very difficult to see until it's right on top of you. And we, like I said, we've all had close calls with head-on collisions. You figure 16 feet is really not a very wide road. You take a dump truck, which we see plenty of, and a vehicle, and you pretty much have to go on the shoulder. And if you take a look at the shoulders, well, there really aren't any. There's a ditch right next to the edge of the roadway, so there's not very much of a margin for error. So our purpose here tonight basically is to petition you to help us get this situation solved. It's a very, very big safety issue, and it's existed for quite some time, and it's only getting worse. It's not getting any better. I've spoken with Mr. Beal, and he kind of reiterated some of the things that he's willing to do. They sound good, but they were kind of vague, and we sure would like to cross the T's and dot the I's and see what's really going to happen and when it's going to happen. He said resurfacing is scheduled for 2027, which is kind of a way out. But I'd like him to explain to our folks, our residents, what resurfacing means. If it's a little bit of tar and a little bit of sand, that's really not what we need. We need to fix some serious bumps and cracks in the roadway. And I basically appeal to you to try to help us get that done, and we'd be very appreciative. So I thank you, and if anyone has any questions, I'd be sure to answer them.
All right, how many other folks are from Jetties Reese here tonight? All right, okay, thank you. Mr. Williams, you have any more questions or any comments you want to?
Did the work that Mr. Beal and VDOT did this week, did that address any of the issues that you've got?
Well, it did the drainage. They did a great job cleaning out the ditches. But it also, I had one person call me today and say, boy, you really work fast. Well, it was kind of coincidental that they happened to have the equipment getting it done. But it just, when you take a look at the ditches, it just illuminates the fact that we really don't have a lot of leeway between ditches. Quite honestly, it's a narrow roadway, and some of those curves are pretty dangerous. So if we could get a crew out there to trim up the trees or whatever, cut the trees down so that you could see oncoming traffic. It would eliminate the necessity. Most of us who live in Jetty's Reach and in that area, quite frankly, we ride the crown of the road, which isn't a good thing, but it's pretty much necessary if you don't want to get jarred to death. And we hope that situation can, be fixed in 2027.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Any other questions? I'd like to thank my friend over here who's given us a little advice into, how to get things done. We'd like to follow up and make sure it gets done.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Beal, you have any other comments?
Yeah, I'll just address a few things. There's some things that we can do, and there's some things that we can't do without direction from the board and funding from the board or allocation from the board. We talked about the narrowness of the road. So we maintain the road in its existing condition. If the road is to be widened, then we have to identify a project to widen the road. And the project has to come with funding. So the county could apply for revenue sharing, which is 50% state funds, 50% local funds to widen the road. The county could use secondary 6-year plan money to widen the road. Those funds are very limited. I think you get about $25,000 a year, so it won't go very far. So that's, and the same thing with straightening the curves. We talked about maybe getting rid of the curves or straightening the curves. That's project funds. We're going to maintain the curves as they are. That's what our maintenance funding is for. Anything beyond the way the road is, the way it was made, the alignment, those are all projects. So that has to come with the funding to pay for the project. The funds that I have control over are maintenance funds, and I think, admittedly, I think we can do a better job with what's there with the funding that I had. I drove the road this week, and I agree, if I was going the speed limit, I'd probably hit my head on the ceiling. There are a couple places there that I think in the next couple of weeks we can improve greatly. The plan would be to take hot mix asphalt and fill in those low areas and the depressions and smooth out that cross section a little bit. The road is a surface treated road. Tar and chip, you might hear it referred to as tar and chip. We call it surface treatment. We intend to maintain that as a tar and chip road. So when I say it's going to be resurfaced, we put it in for a double seal in 27. The truck will go down the road. It'll take this cross section that we've improved with asphalt to try to smooth out with asphalt. And it'll resurface it as tar and chip. So the distributor will spray out liquid asphalt. It'll put in the number 8s, and then they'll go back and do it again. It's a double seal. So you'll get a new surface. That'll help a little bit, but it's still a low volume secondary road that while it goes somewhere, it's still a dead end road. In order to pave it with plant mix asphalt, we'd spend about $500,000, and we can't do that on a road that, it's a very low volume road. But we can do better than what's there now, for sure.
What about new signage on the sharp turn that immediately following the post office? Can you move the signs that are there closer to the turn?
I talked to Mr. Bertino today. I'm going to put a work order in with the traffic engineering section, asking them to review the existing signage and see what upgrades we can make.
Great.
That's an easier one.
Okay. All right. Now, I think anything you can do there will be a help, because I know that road very well. Many times I've been up and down it. That first turn there is a nice one. That's a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, the other thing that surprised me, it has a double yellow line, and it's so narrow that by today's standard, we wouldn't put a double yellow line on it, because you can't really drive down the road without crossing the line. If a road's not 20 feet wide, we typically don't put a double yellow on it. But talking to Mr. Bertino, he said it's been there for 20 years. So at some point, somebody decided to put a double yellow on it.
Yep. All right, Mr. Williams, you have any other comments?
Not about this area.
Anything else you have?
I've got one more. If we done with that one?
If you have anything else.
Did you have one more thing you want to say, Mr. Bettino?
Yeah. One of the things that we've discovered recently is there's a lot more 18-wheeler traffic that comes up and down that road. And there's no place for them to turn around if they don't know the area. You can turn an 18-wheeler around, but you have to know where to go. And there's no directions, obviously. I think there should be some signage that says no truck turnaround. To put these guys on notice, basically, that they're driving up a one-way road. It's going to be very difficult to turn around. We have moving trucks, we've got deliveries of all kinds of things, furniture, and we've had numerous people in the 90-degree turn go off the road. They can't make that. They're so big. And then once they finally get to where they need to be, there's no way for them to turn around. They knock down mailboxes. Yeah, they knock down street signs, whatever. So it's really a kind of a tough situation for the community. And we appreciate any help.
All right, well, I think Mr. Beal will be looking into what the other things he can do. So he'll do everything he can do for y'all. All right, Mr. Williams, you have anything else?
Yep, still down in Hacks Neck, heading west, I guess, which would be taking you back towards Burgess. If you were taking a left onto Wycomico Point Road, there's growth on the right-hand side of the road that really prevents you from getting a clear look up the road before you make that left-hand turn. And check into that for me if you would. See if some of that could be cut back.
Line of sight at Hacks Neck and Wycomico Point?
Yes. Heading back towards Burgess, yeah. That's it.
All right, Mr. Long?
Yes, Mr. Bill, you still mourn, right?
Yes, sir.
Like for you to see if you can mow on the 747 Halls Neck Road, probably the first week of September. We'll have parade down in that area. So like for that, be taken care of. And the other thing, when is the next board meeting for the Whitestone Bridge Committee,
The next board meeting?
Yeah. They had a board meeting several months ago, and I was unable to make it. Do you know how often they have?
Are you talking about the Commonwealth Transportation Board?
The ones
monthly, but I don't have their schedule in front of me.
Okay.
I don't know that they discussed the bridge last month.
Well, from what I understand, someone attended the meeting. They did discuss the bridge.
Okay.
But I don't know if you can do anything about it. Wycomico, we drive the right speed. You know why? There's a state trooper over there. So we drive. If we could have a state trooper to ride that bridge every now and then, we done had 2 or 3 accidents over there, and 3 or 4 people got killed. I got a report that some people going across the bridge texting. We had somebody, a state trooper riding that bridge that would cut down on a lot of accidents, I think. And people getting killed.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. I know there are a lot of other factors in some of those accidents. And
Right.
I'll just speak generally, and I'm off the cuff, so if I'll get it right, but it was something like 90% of the fatalities on the roads are from 4 different things. People that don't wear their seatbelts, people that drive impaired, they drive distracted, or they drive with excessive speed. So if we don't do those things, then you end up in a group of the 10% of fatalities. And that's a much better group to be in than the 90% number. So it's fairly easy to make our roads much safer if we don't do those things. But the accidents that you spoke about on the bridge, there were multiple factors, and speed wasn't the only one.
Right. I know I had a friend get hit, and I don't know if they caught the driver or not, but it broke his hip a couple of weeks ago. So this guy left the scene. I don't know if they caught up with them or not. But something needs to be done. When you have, I know we had 3 or 4 people to get killed within the last month or so on that bridge. So there's something for you to check into. That's all I have.
All right, Mr. Brand.
Just thank all your crews for what they've done. It's been hot. They've been out there working, and they've done a good job.
Thank you.
Mr. Fisher.
Yes. Good to see you back, sir.
I think it's good to be back.
Yes. Just a quick question. The mowing operations taking place, you have private contractors to do a lot of these. Is there any stipulation in the contracts as to the height of the grass after the mowing takes place?
I think so. I have to check.
And the reason for asking that, I know on a contract they do it as quick as they can and so forth, but they go so fast that a lot of times they push the grass down and they don't actually cut it. And the result is in 3 or 4 days, you end up with grass on the side of the highway that's 5 and 6 and 7 inches tall. A simple solution would be to slow down a little bit, but I know time is money. But if there is in fact a stipulation that the grass has to be 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, whatever, nobody's fussing about an inch here and there. But if it's supposed to be 3 and it ends up being 7, I think there's a question there.
I'll check it.
Okay.
I would just clarify that we mow the primary routes 3 times a year, secondary routes twice a year. So the cutting that's going on right now is just the primary routes.
Right.
And we'll hit the secondaries late in the year so they look decent through the line.
It's a real shame that you can't cut them more often. At least once more a year.
I understand.
That's all I got to say.
Well, the thing I'll say is thank everybody for the work they're doing.
All right.
Just try to stay cool.
I'll do it. Thank you all.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Bill, Mr. Bill, how about the paper? Did you finish the permit? The permit?
Yes, sir. I'm going to take it back to the office and
Okay,
process
good.
it. We'll get it back to you.
Thank you.
All right, next item would be the county administrator reports.
Mr. Chairman, it's up to the board, given the time frame for the public hearings, would you all like to do the public comments and public hearings first before
Yes.
the county admin?
Yeah, probably a good idea. All right, let's, Ms. Morgan, would you be so kind?
Jimmy, you don't have the trooper setting up your way, huh?
No, the deputies do a pretty good job in a couple of spots at Fairway.
Slow down, please.
Yeah.
Chip, you have anybody down your way slowing down traffic?
Thank you, ma'am.
You have any troopers or?
All right. I'm going to open the public comment period here now. Excuse me, the first person I have on the sign-up sheet is Mary Ellen Small.
Hello, I'm Mary Ellen Small. I live on Shade Tree Lane in the county. My husband and I have been homeowners here, probably going on about 18 years, full-time since 2020, coming from Chesterfield County. So I'd like to talk to you all about the possibility of putting in public tennis and pickleball courts.
Right.
So I'm reading the newspaper on Friday, a little late, but actually it was Sunday. And I happened to come across this little article about pickleball courts and tennis courts that are coming to Lancaster County. It's the Hills Quarter Tennis Park. Current plans call for 6 tennis courts and 6 pickleball courts with parking. And I thought to myself, why don't we have something like that in this county? It doesn't seem like we have anything public for the citizens of the county. Everybody knows what tennis is. It's been around for, forever. You may not know what pickleball is, and I'll give you a little history. It started in 1960 in Bainbridge, Washington, and apparently took 60 years to get to the East Coast. It's a paddle sport that is played on a court the size of a volleyball court. Net is a little bit lower than a tennis court, and it's played with paddles. And I've been playing it for probably close to 13 years. And the reason for that is when we lived in Chesterfield County, like I said, we only moved here full-time 5 years ago, but we've been part-time residents for 13 or 14 years prior to that. So in Chesterfield County, going on about 12 years ago or so, probably a little longer, I think, there was a woman there who lived part-time in Florida, and she learned how to play pickleball, and she brought it to Chesterfield County. And it was all the rage, still is. All of the county parks in Chesterfield, and I think there was probably like 8 or 9 of them, over the past 13 years, all the tennis courts that they've had there, they have turned half of them into dedicated pickleball courts. So for every tennis court that you have, you can get 2 pickleball courts in that little piece of real estate. Now here in Chesterfield, here in Northumberland County, the only place that you can play is either if you join and pay at the Y, if you join and pay at Indian Creek Country Club, which is, that's a little bit out of my budget and a lot of people's budget. Or if you happen to live in a neighborhood like I live in, White Sand Harbor, where they have tennis courts, and I was lucky enough that 5 years ago they were resurfacing the courts, and they actually put lines in for pickleball also. So it's not dedicated courts, but the only people who can play at these type of facilities are the residents that actually live in the neighborhood. Now, right now, I think if you want to raise your hand, even though this is a small percentage, there is a lot of people in Northumberland County that play tennis and they play pickleball.
All right.
You want to raise your hands?
All right. Yeah, good.
Thank you. One of the girls that's left was the only one here. She plays with us. So really, I mean, that's all we need is just like a little park that they have. Like, I know Lancaster is doing 6 and 6. Maybe we don't need 6 tennis courts. Maybe we need 4. But 6 pickleball courts would be great. And if we could put it in an area here in Heathsville, in the county seat, where the high schoolers can use it and the middle schoolers can use it too, because it's just not for people who have aged out of tennis. This sport is popular for middle schoolers, high schoolers, and people in their 20s all the way through. I don't know what they do in Northumberland. My children are much older. I haven't had kids in the Northumberland school system. But in Chesterfield County, in 6th grade, we had custody of my nephew 13 years ago or so. And he was entering 6th grade at Chesterfield when we had him. And they taught pickleball in gym in 6th grade. I don't know if they do that here in Northumberland County, if that's part of your physical education curriculum or not, but he loved it. It's a fun activity, and most of us who play either have played tennis before and have aged out of tennis because it's like, okay, you're now in your 50s or 60s and it's a bit much. But we have people playing with us that are anywhere from in their 50s all the way to mid-70s, and it's a fun social place to play. So I think the county really needs something like that. And I actually, thought of an area that it would benefit the high schools and the middle schoolers. There's a space right next to, if you're on 360 and you're heading towards here, on the left-hand side, prior to hitting Academic Lane, there's soccer fields for the high school. There's a parking lot that sometimes during non-school hours you'll see buses parked there. Not a lot of buses, but a few. And then the field right next to it, my husband and I stopped there on the way into this meeting today, and it is a tremendous area that you could easily put 4 tennis courts and 6 dedicated pickleball courts. and the public can access it off of 360 during school hours and never even have to affect the school system. And then the school system, the middle schools and the high schoolers, have access to it also. I found out from a friend of mine that actually substitutes in Northumberland that they don't have tennis courts. The kids don't have tennis courts. The kids who play tennis go to Indian Creek to practice and play. Now, I'm sure there's money being passed on from the county to Indian Creek to subsidize the kids going there to play, plus the gas for the buses and all that. So that would benefit the kids in school also. So it would be a double positive. It would be positive for the residents of Northumberland County, and it would be a positive for the kids in middle and high school. Now, let me see, I have some notes. I only knew I was coming here about 6 hours ago. So let me just go over, I'm going to make sure that I cover everything that I want to cover. Again, there's no public areas in the county for anything. The only thing recently that I heard was being developed was the hometown project in Callio. And I actually got in touch with somebody from there, and they sent me the plan of it, and there's no room there at all for tennis or pickleball courts. And I actually think that since Heathsville is the county center, the county seat, that it would be best to put it, if you could, in this general facility. So that's what I'm proposing. There's a big community. It was very last minute that I decided to come here today. I didn't want to wait till next meeting. But if I had brought everybody that plays, they would be standing room only in this room right now. So that could be for another day, another time. But I just wanted to ask you, what can I do to help Robert here, get it going and see what we can do, get the whole thing, the process moving.
Well, we have had some discussion on putting in tennis court, basketball courts and all. We just have not decided where we could put them. We have some available land in places. We don't know if that's going to be the right location or not, but we are discussing it. Mr. Long, if you want to make any other comments?
Yes, I'm glad that you attended. What's the name again?
Mary Ellen?
Well, I've been bringing it up for several meetings, and, my own is different. I think we should have one or two tennis courts on both ends of the county and in the center too. When my kids were in school, I had to carry them to Westmoreland.
Wow.
For tennis.
Yeah.
So it's no sense in that.
It shocked me that the high school and the middle school, excuse me, didn't already have courts for the kids, for their athletic sports. And I know, my experience is only with Chesterfield. We moved here from New Jersey, 30-something years ago, and my kids attended Chesterfield school system. And it was a given. The high school had tennis courts.
Right.
There was no things open. Middle school, I don't remember. Did middle school tennis courts? I don't think middle school, but definitely high school. It was a high school sport where they competed. They had their own tennis courts.
Right.
But it wasn't until I moved here, and we were very involved in playing pickleball on the public courts in Chesterfield prior to us moving here. I even told my husband, if we can't get a group of pickleball players to play with, you're going to have a problem with your wife, because I am not going to be happy living here if I have to do that. It's a social thing. Okay. It's an athletic thing. I mean, it's exercise, you're outside, you're in the sunshine, and luckily enough, White Sand Harbor provided that for us. But it's only for the residents of White Sand Harbor.
Right.
It's very limited. And it's like, if you don't live in a community that has that, or if you don't pay, Indian Creek or the Y, and Y doesn't even have outdoor courts. They're playing inside on the basketball courts with a bazillion lines and portable nets, and the lighting is off. I know you don't even get started on that. People know. Don't talk to Mary Ellen about playing at the Y. But anyway, so I think it's a real need here, and I would love to be part of helping to get the ball rolling, and anything, that Robert needs, I would be happy to help. And can we do something like that?
Fantastic.
All right, we will certainly keep you in mind.
Right. I'd much rather for you just reach out to him
Yeah, we've actually talked today for the first time.
and not worry about hearing from us. If you have the time and you want to dedicate your time to trying to make this happen, move forward.
Okay.
But one of the biggest issues we face is the funding.
Yeah,
And all.
he mentioned something about talking to Lancaster.
Right.
And finding out about what kind of grants they might have gotten or what their
Right.
plans are and all that. So, I already told him earlier today, I'd be happy to delegate what you need to delegate to me, and I would be more than happy to help. I mean, I could even reach out to the woman that I know in Chesterfield and see how she got things going along and who she used, and,
It's going to take a motivated person to make things happen.
I can do that.
And we need motivated people.
Okay, well, I'll be in touch with
I'm glad you attended this meeting
I
because
just
that's what,
wanted to see if there was, if you all were positive about it.
well, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Let's push
I'll
it.
hopefully see you guys soon.
Right.
All right.
All right. That's
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Take
All
care.
right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, next person's already left, so next person is Ken Smith. All right, Ken Smith? All right, I don't have anyone else on the sign-up sheet. Would anyone else like to speak? Come on up, ma'am.
Karen Pico, Wycomico Church. I would like to express my gratitude today to the Board of Supervisors and the county staff for what you have done on the finances. You hired a finance director, which the citizen's been asking for. You were very thoughtful and deliberative tonight in the conversation around the school finances. I don't think all that money is necessary at this point in time. Clearly, there's some contracts that are needed to be paid, but you were very thoughtful about that. I don't know if you know, but the school only has about 4 vacancies right now. So all the conversation around we were going to lose teachers, we were going to lose people isn't happening. The Bay Workforce Aging did a survey recently in Northumberland County, ranked the highest of all the local counties with respect to quality of life and happiness here. So there's a lot of good things that are happening in the county. I would like to express my gratitude also for a commitment that was made in May of 2024. So we heard tonight about the assessment and how it's going to be the largest ever. This board, and the chair in particular, made a commitment in May of 2024 where you said that if the taxes were going to rise, then the rate of taxation would come down. And I appreciate the fact that the county is in some financial turmoil. I appreciate the fact that we need to rebuild the coffers. And you all have said that we don't need to do it on the backs of the hardworking citizens of this county. And if you're looking at 63 to 85% tax increases, Mr. Fisher, I think you've said it before, where people that are on fixed income, you're driving them straight out of this county.
Yep.
So I heard loud and clear what the gentleman said about the assessment rates. I also heard very loudly what you committed to in May of 2024, that when those tax dollars go up, that rate will come down. We are at 0.74, which we've never been at before. So I look forward. I will continue to volunteer in any capacity I need. I know you have a competent financial director, but I'm going to go back and do some analysis over the past few years about what the tax rates have been, what the sales rates have, sale tax dollars have been as part of my work on the EDC. And I look forward to when those bills come in October, that the board is going to be looking at what the tax rate next year, how it can be reduced, because you were able to cut school spending. You've got a real eagle eye on what's happening. And also would like to thank the county administrator for posting the documents he did today. The details, thank you, Mary, that are included in the expense report. I get that not all expenses are there, but those payments are phenomenal. And it allows greater transparency into all the expenses of the county. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've been doing. I know I've been up here the past couple years barking about a lot of things. I just wanted to take the time to say thank you to everyone for the transparency, the commitment, the dedication, and the commitment for next year to lower our tax rates.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? Anyone else like to speak? All right, would anyone that's online tonight like to speak in the public comment period? Any hands? Would anyone that's online tonight like to speak in the public comment period? All right. I'll close the public comment period, and we can open our public hearings tonight. Sorry, we are behind. Our first public hearing tonight is to solicit public input on local community development, and that would be Mr. Davis, Jerry Davis. Come on up, Mr. Davis. Sorry to keep you waiting so long tonight.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So as you recall, okay. As you all recall, a month ago, you all had the first of 2 required public hearings in relation to a proposed community development block grant application for a housing rehabilitation project. This started over a year ago when the county received a planning grant from the Department of Housing and Community Development to do a countywide housing assessment and identified a number of housing units across the county that appeared to meet minimum housing standards. And we shared that information, the results of that housing assessment, with our management team, which is the stakeholder group that the county board appointed to oversee this effort. Mr. Long was a board representative, and a lot of the county staff, a couple of community representatives that have interest in housing throughout the county. So at the direction of the management team, we reviewed the findings of the initial assessment, and from that point, looked to see if there were housing that had been identified that was located in areas that could potentially be a community development block grant implementation project. The Department of Housing and Community Development, under their guidelines, likes to see those projects where houses are close together, clustered together in a neighborhood type setting. So upon that review, it did look like there were a cluster of homes in the Lampkin Ford area. And we reached out to that community, had a public meeting, invited property owners and residents in that area to come out, and we wanted to see if there was interest in this kind of project for that neighborhood. And the feedback we got was, yes, there was interest. A number of residents and property owners indicated that if there was a potential project, they would like to be part of it. So, so that brings us to where we're at now. We have we've completed a process where we've gone out in the Lampkin Ford area, conducted input meetings where we gained information from the households that were interested in participating to determine the number of number of persons in each household, whether they qualified financially, whether they met the low to moderate income criteria. We also conducted preliminary housing inspections to determine what the need might be, whether that dwelling could be rehabbed and at what cost, or whether the housing unit was beyond rehab and would have to be replaced, or we would demolish the old unit and replace it with a new unit. So that effort resulted in the identification of a project, what we are recommending and what the management team is recommending to the board is a project that has 5 homes in the on Lampkin Ford Road. In those 5 homes, 2 homes would be just rehabilitated, and 3 of the homes would require a new unit. And we have 2 additional dwellings in that area that would need to be demolished. So that's what we're recommending. That's what the management team is recommending, is a project to address those 5 dwellings. 16 individuals, 16 low to moderate income individuals would benefit from this project in those 5 properties. And the cost, the budget for this project is just a little over $1 million. It's $1,009,778. So that would be the grant request from the Department of Housing and Community Development, from Community Development Block Grant monies. So that's what we have. Glad to answer any questions.
All right, any board members have any questions, Mr. Davis, before I open the public hearing? Any questions, gentlemen? All right, no questions. Mr. Davis, I'm going to open the public hearing here, see if we have any comments. I have no one on the sign-up sheet. Would anyone like to speak on this issue that's before us tonight? Anyone like to speak on it? All right, would anyone that's online tonight like to speak on this public housing project? No one? Would anyone online like to speak about this housing project? Quiet tonight. All right. I'm going to close the hearing, close the public hearing, and the matter is before the board. Gentlemen, what's your decision?
I make a motion we move forward with the grant request.
Second. All right, I got a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right. Mr. Davis, the motion passes, sir. Thank you,
Mr.
Chief.
Davis, there's actually 2 resolutions I think the board needs to approve.
You have 2 actions, really. One resolution was to authorize the application, which you just did. The second resolution is formal adoption of all the federal assurances that you have to agree to if you're going to seek this source of funding, which is federal. That's his second resolution. And it contains, I guess, a listing of all the federal assurances that are attached to that approval.
All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion that we adopt, as the county, the pre-contract documents.
All right, adopt the federal resolution. Okay.
Second.
Yeah. All right, I have a second?
Second.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right.
And just for clarification too, on the first motion with that resolution, it did approve in-kind match consisting of waived building permit fees, just for everybody's information.
Yes.
Do you want to amend the motion?
No, it's in the resolution.
It's in the resolution?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out.
Good enough. Anything else, Mr. Davis? Mr. Tadlock, you need from Mr. Ward on this?
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Well, Mr. Davis, thank you for all the time you put into it. All right. Next is the amendment to the Chapter 34. Mr. Tadlock?
Yes, sir. Next public hearing is consider an amendment to Chapter 34, Article 3, Section 34-19 of the Northumberland County Code to amend the applicable state code provision from 3.1-796.93 to 3.2-6538. This is more of an administrative matter.
All right. Board members have any questions or comments before I open the public hearing? All right, I'll open the public hearing. I have no one on the sign-up sheet. Would anyone like to speak tonight? Would anyone like to speak on the change to Chapter 34? All right, would anyone that's online tonight like to speak? Anyone that's online like to speak tonight? All right. Close the public hearing and the matters before the board. Gentlemen? Well, gentlemen, I'll make a motion that we adopt a change here from to the 3.2-6583 code section. Is that all you need in the motion, Mr. Tadlock?
Yes, sir.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right, Mr. Tadlock, the motion passes. Now, that's all our public hearings. Mr. Tadlock, do you want to do your county administrator report now?
I can do that. Yes, sir.
All right.
For the month of July, we had a total of 10 new structures. Total construction cost for the month was $7.9 million. Construction cost year-to-date was approximately $38.7 million, which puts us up approximately $32,000. For fiscal year 2025, we have received a state reimbursement for CSA to go to 5302-6002 in the amount of $26,699.75.
All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Like you said, that's a state reimbursement, correct?
That's state monies.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, got a motion, a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right, that one passes. Mr. Tadlock.
As we had brought to the board previously, there were some transfers that were being made with the accounts for the ledger sheets in the RDA system. The treasurer has a transfer request from EMS revenue to EMS expenditure accounts. And that's from 56-1600-161315 to 56-3506-59-5956. A total amount is $25,569.33. There are no new monies. These are just monies being transferred.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against?
And those transfers are based on working with the auditor. Next, I had sent to the board the request for the Northern Neck Regional Jail budget amendment in the amount of $200,000. They had significant increases, expenditures in overtime, medical, pharmaceutical, and dental hospital services. However, they did see some significant areas in revenue with recovered cost in federal inmates. So they are asking for an amended budget of $12,428,834,000. Excuse me, $12,428,834. It's getting late.
All right, gentlemen. Any questions?
Dude, and I'm just throwing this out there, but when's the last time they had an audit?
Annually.
Annually?
Mm-hmm. Questions?
No, it's just, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money goes through up there. All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
What you say, Mr. Long?
We have no choice.
No?
All right, y'all, are y'all okay with it, or you're not okay with it, or what?
I'd like to have a little more detailed information.
They got $6 million in salaries and wages.
Yeah, this is not any monies being requested of the county. This is
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were almost self-sustaining, weren't they, one time?
They still are.
Still are?
Still are.
They still are.
Okay.
Which is a good thing, because it doesn't cost us.
Right.
It doesn't cost us anything.
That's right.
Okay.
That is a real good thing.
Yep. We're blessed with that.
I make a motion that we move forward on it.
All right, we have a motion,
I'll second it.
and we have a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against?
I won't be against. I'd just like to have a little more information.
All right, it's a 4-1 vote.
The next item I have is a resolution in your packet to authorize Northumberland County to participate in the Purdue Pharma and Sackler family opioid litigation settlement.
All right. Have any comments? Mr. Gregory, you have any comments, sir?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this is a recommend approval. It would be a vote to accept the bankruptcy plan submitted to the bankruptcy court by Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family, which would in turn provide payments to the opioid abatement authority and directly to the participating localities, including Northumberland County. And so the resolution would also be to participate in that direct settlement as well. So as long as the funds derived from that settlement were put towards opioid abatement measures in the county and statewide, then that would be to the county's benefit. I certainly recommend approval.
All right, any questions for Mr. Gregory? If not, what's the pleasure of the board?
Move that we move forward.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right.
Mr. Chairman, similarly, the next item is a resolution related to the opioid abatement settlement. This one is to approve and participate in a settlement and resolution with certain opioid manufacturers, 8 opioid manufacturers that are participating in that nationwide settlement. So the recommendation is to approve the resolution as presented.
All right. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, I got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too, Mr. Gregory.
All right, the next item we have is related to the convenience center decal program. The board had been asking for some information related to this program. I'm going to actually turn this over to Mr. Basie as he's been gathering the information to proceed with this.
Okay. We have been talking with Dave Zender with Daveware, and we have talked with Patrick Smith with American Solutions for Business, so as outside vendors to try to help us come up with some possible ideas on how to proceed with this. And also worked with Treasurer's Office and Commissioner of Revenue, and we had consultation with some board members related to this. Currently, the most recent plan we have would be that we would have roughly 35,000 decals made, windshield decals made by American Solutions for Business. They would then mail 2 decals with each personal property tax bill for and it's roughly a little over 16,000 bills that would be going out, which would take roughly 32,000 of the 35,000 decals that we're looking to have made. The remaining 2,700 to 3,000 would then be shipped back to the county for the county to handle anybody that was omitted from the mailing that may not have a vehicle registered in the county, may have a second home here that would still need access to it. If this is the way the board wants to go, we could still see some cost savings, but we would need to act pretty much tonight to approve American Solutions for Business, move forward to be able to have the decals printed and ready to be in the mailing for the personal property tax bills. The cost estimates that they're showing is for the decals, it would be $5,110, and mailing them would be an additional $323, and shipping the remaining ones back would be $45 to $55 estimate, for a total estimate of $5,488. This is allowing the decals to be included in the mailing for the personal property tax bills instead of having a separate mailing. If we did a separate mailing, it would be roughly $10,650 additional postage just to mail them out separately. So that would be recognizing a savings of that in that amount if we were able to move forward and get this done to where they could be included in the mailing for the personal property tax.
Gentlemen, I hope you've had a chance to review this. Do you have any questions for Mr. Basie?
That does allow residents that has more than 2 vehicles, they can apply to the courthouse and receive additional decals if they choose to do so.
Yes.
And this would be for household refuge only, not commercial refuge.
Correct.
And there's a picture of a decal in there. I know that one says Westmoreland County onto it, but that's what we were able to get our hands on. It would have Northumberland County, and it would have a valid date onto it.
And it's color-coded for each year, too?
Yes. And as Mr. Fisher says, it's color-coded. We just need to pick a color to start it with, because the color would change every year.
If this is the direction that the board wishes to go, we also have a policy that we've got in draft form for your consideration to adopt or to make revisions, and we can adopt that in the future as well.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Basie on this?
Certainly saving a substantial amount of money by getting them out with the tax forms rather than the separate mailing. Was it 10,000?
$10,650 is what they're estimating savings just in
postage. A lot of money right now.
We just need to make a decision on the color we want tonight and proceed with this tonight.
Was there one color we could not use? Was it yellow or something?
We were just suggesting that we not use the same color as Westmoreland or any other neighboring counties. So
and they were what?
I want to say they were orange.
Westmoreland was orange?
I believe that was correct. We can verify that.
Richmond County, they've got a color.
We can verify the colors with American Business to make sure we're different from our neighbors.
Westmoreland looks yellow.
Westmoreland yellow.
All right, what's your thoughts, gentlemen?
I make a motion that we move forward.
All right.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion?
What about how are we going to handle the contractors coming in doing what they're not supposed to be dumping?
They won't be dumping.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is for household refuge only.
Okay.
And we had discussed, well, we got a motion on the floor now, don't we?
Yeah, we got a motion.
We got a motion on the floor right now.
All right. Any other discussion on this motion? And we can discuss color anytime. That's whatever color the surrounding counties are using. We can just do something different.
Staff can work that out.
Yeah, they can take care of that if that's all right for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. If no other discussion, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against? All right. Motion passes. Now, Mr. Fisher, what were you talking about?
I was referring to Jimmy's question. We had discussed a possible commercial refuge site in the middle of the county where a contractor, a house contractor, for a rate could get some kind of a decal or a sticker where he could dump his commercial trash in that particular dumpster. We don't have anything like that in Northumberland County right now. And we feel like there should be something there for the taxpayers. So that's something we want to discuss down the road here very shortly. Hopefully it'll pay for itself.
Yeah. Trying to cut back on the amount of tonnage that we are picking up from surrounding counties.
Yeah, I agree.
Mr. Chairman, for clarification, the motion was to approve going forward with American Business Solutions for the plan we had. It was not related to the policy being adopted, correct?
I can't hear you.
The motion made was to go forward with American Business Solutions for the proposal they gave, and it was not addressing the policy yet, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you need on that, Mr. Tadlock? And
Not on the, moving forward on the decals. Does the board want to review the policy further? Or do you have any specific questions related to that policy?
have y'all had time to review this policy?
I really don't have any issues.
All right, no issues. Anyone else have any comments?
I move that we move forward.
Move forward with the policy, Mr. Long?
Yes.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, I got a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? Anything else you need on that, Mr. Tadlock?
No, and as far as funding for this, we've got some monies under the Board of Supervisors, under those categories that we'll look at pulling that out of.
All right.
All right, next item is for the emergency services. The board had approved the Department of Emergency Services accepting the grant funds for the Rescue Squad Assistance Fund, and that was in the amount of $14,000. There was a match of $21,528 that we were using the EMS billing. So it would be a transfer of the EMS billing from 56-1600-161315 to 56-3506-5957 in the amount of $21,528. And then the OEMS grant reimbursement to 3203-5409 in the amount of $14,000. So the total would be $35,528. And this is for the COTS program that the board had previously approved.
Motion to approve.
All right, got a motion to have a second?
Second.
All right, got a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Just wanted to let the board know that we are continuing to work with Davenport on the policy for the undesignated fund balance. We had anticipated them coming to this meeting, but due to the work that was being conducted on assisting us with the loan, they got tied up with that. So we anticipate having them next month to come to the board. And they wanted to do more than just a policy. They wanted to have a plan in place to also proceed forward. Second item, or last item I've got is Westmoreland is interested in planning a regional summit or caucus to discuss matters of mutual interest. They are looking at having 2 or 3 items from each board. Excuse me. And they are interested in having 2 members from each board meet at a regional summit. They are tentatively looking at October 2nd timeframe. That is not, we're still trying to get that date for everyone, but I want to put that on your radar so that the board can be thinking about one, what 2 members you all wish to participate in, 2, which items you would like to push forward.
Would this be a good opportunity to have discussions on competitive salaries for EMS Day?
Yes.
For the region?
Yeah.
Because we're pulling from each other. We're taking resources from each other all the time.
Yes.
So I think that should be one of our topics.
Good idea. Very good idea.
I want to make a motion that I'd like to see the chairman and vice chairman be on that committee. If y'all would accept it.
What's that on?
Huh?
Thursday.
Second.
Tentatively on the 2nd.
Yeah. That's Thursday.
October the 2nd is a Thursday.
Thursday.
I could do it.
How about you, Richard?
I'll do anything I can for this board.
Okay. That's
all right, we have a motion to, we have a second?
I'll second that.
Got a motion, second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? All right. What else you have, Mr. Tadlock?
They're all the items I have.
All right, any committee reports tonight? All right. Let's go to the Board of Supervisors items, and that's approval of a check register. I hope y'all gentlemen had a chance to review the check register.
Yep.
Any questions about it? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion, second. Any other comments now? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right. Board comments. We'll start with Mr. Fisher.
We got the email and some information on the situation down on Avalon Road and 360. It was been pretty much of an eyesore for some time. How was that handled? I know it said that the owner of the property was contacted. Did he clean it up, or the people who rented the place clean it up, or how was that?
I don't have the specific details on that. That was more of a situation where the property owner took the individual renting the property to court. So that was not anything that was
county involved.
County involved.
Okay. At any rate, I'm glad it was done, and a lot of people have commented they were glad it was cleaned up. That's all I have right now.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Brand?
I've been asked again about the Tri-County land hunting rights. I know we stopped the hunting up there a year or so ago because of the right-of-way issue. Then we had discussions on, whether the other two counties wanted hunting and they're not. Was asked by Hunt Club, could they go back and hunt again this year? They have their own right-of-way to get in on that property. They have other property back there that they already hunt. But they just would like to have permission to hunt the county property again.
Could you get with the other two counties? See what their
I've reached
opinion
out
is?
to them, but I can reach out to them again. I know we had talked about obtaining a survey. I had reached out to one surveyor and they could not do it or were not interested in doing it. So I have reached out to a different company. So.
And that was the survey the right away, right?
Correct.
But it has nothing to do with the hunting rights.
That was not dealing with the hunting rights.
Yeah, they've got permission from the Thomas family to go in off of their property. And that's what they've been using the last couple or so years.
Because hunting season starts very soon.
Yes.
It's the same access that they've had previously.
Yes. So it doesn't have any conflict with the neighbor.
All right, so I guess what we need to do is you need to contact the other two counties and make sure that they are agreeable to allowing that hunt club or any other hunt club or any of their hunt clubs to hunt onto it. Because we'd have to agree to that too if one of their clubs or one of their citizens wants to hunt up here.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly reach out to the other localities and get back with the board.
If we don't hear from them, we'll make a decision.
What kind of problems will you have in the future if hunt clubs from other counties do in fact have the right to go in there and there is a conflict between county hunt clubs being there at the same time?
They work that out amongst themselves.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, because I don't think any of them want to lose any rights to hunt any property.
Hopefully.
Well, hopefully. But since this is tri-county property, you got to get all three counties to agree.
And keep in mind, what other hunt club is going to go in there because they don't have permission to hunt any of the other land that this hunt club has permission to hunt. So it wouldn't benefit a hunt club to go in there.
That does
maybe a still hunter. I could see someone that likes to still hunt may go in there, but that still should.
That would be totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go in and still hunt. That's just totally different.
Right.
That's usually one or two people going there together.
That's right.
It's not like a hunt club going in.
But I'd like to get that resolved because I'm gonna be asked again. Also been asked, the Callio Volunteer Fire Department is getting ready to break ground to do some site work and all of that, and they would like to ask the board to waive any fees for permits now and in the future for that project, for building a new building and doing the site prep.
All right. What's been our policy in the past?
Right. It's been up to the board. Y'all wish to proceed on it. I know we've waived permit fees in the past for like natural disasters and things like that. Yeah.
I just want to be consistent in what we do.
Right.
What did we do on Boys and Girls Club?
On Boys and Girls Club? I'm
Yeah.
not sure for the permit. Yeah, they were charged.
They were charged, okay. And on the Y, we charged for?
Y'all charged for the Y too, yes.
Okay.
We trapped it.
How much money are we talking about?
I don't know.
Roundabout.
Can't be too much. It's not hundreds of thousands.
No.
No,
I
not that much money.
I think it's a good idea, but if we start, we're gonna have to continue.
You are correct, Mr. Long. Whatever we make a decision on this, we have to do for everybody else.
Right.
Yeah, the land disturbance was, what, about over 1,000.
How about the rescue squad? Did they,
Mr. Bragg?
how about the rescue squad? When they built in Callao, did they pay fees? That was what?
That's been a little while ago. I don't remember.
It's only been 15 years, hasn't it?
It's been every bit of 15 years.
Yeah, we would have to go back and look at that.
You want us to check before we make a decision, or?
That's up to y'all, because I am not going to vote on this. I am a member of the department, and I think it'd be a conflict of interest if I vote on it.
Yeah.
I think we need to find a little more information.
How soon before y'all gonna break ground?
Once we get a decision on this, we'll.
No, once you get a decision, all right.
Well, this would be for a volunteer service organization.
Right, and that's.
So it wouldn't be for every John Doe, YMCA and other things around. It'd be for a volunteer service.
Yeah. That does make a difference right there.
I say we could restrict it to that.
Did you say they're going to wait for our decision on whether or not we waive these fees before they break ground?
Yeah.
I think if we have an understanding that the county could possibly accept this strictly on an organization that is a volunteer service organization.
Mr. Chairman, members of the
Yes.
board, if I may, I would
Yes,
also
sir.
suggest you could justify it on the basis that by virtue of their being fire and EMS organizations, they're part of the county system to provide those services, and they operate under the auspices of the county. So they're not county departments necessarily, but they operate.
That's what we're looking for.
Right, so it's different than the Y.
Yeah, we would, therefore we'd have some control in the future. Yeah. Did they have a tentative date for breaking ground?
Well, we got to apply for the permit before we can. We would like to get started as soon as we can, but we've been waiting this long. So.
Well, what does the board want to do?
Tell me a downside of it.
Considering waiving. Any ideas, Mr. Marston?
Yes, a couple hours.
Right now, I'm looking for a downside of doing this. What is the downside of going ahead and doing this?
Well, like Mr. Greger said, we could make the motion where we only waive the fees for fire and EMS.
Well, we can still take it on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, we could do that.
But a service organization like the volunteer service organization.
As a service organization to the county.
Yeah. They would have to be nonprofit.
Up to y'all, gentlemen.
Ready?
I'll move that we waive the fees.
Yeah, second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to waive the fees. Any other discussion?
Just for clarification, that's just for this particular project?
For this project.
This project, right.
All right.
With the stipulations that we put in.
You want to list the stipulations? You need that in the motion?
Only that it was a volunteer fire and rescue. Anything else you can think of?
Well, I think you're giving it to Callao Volunteer Fire Department, so I think that narrows it.
That good enough? All right, I just want to make sure.
That gives us our control for the future.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? And Mr. Brand, you stand. All right.
And one last thing, we got Halloween coming right around the corner. And we normally, last couple of years, we've done the Boo Bash. And Morgan said that she would help get it together this year.
I think we ought to do that.
Okay.
We've had good luck with it.
Sounds good.
I think here, and as you were talking, like we've talked before, we've had a lot of people comment about it.
Yeah.
They've enjoyed it, so I gotta agree with you on that.
You putting that in form of a motion?
You wanna put that in motion?
That is my motion that we move forward with the
All right.
Boo Bash.
Motion and a second. All right, we're in good shape. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against? All right. Ms. Morgan, we'll give you something else to do.
When you have time, Morgan, and you get things straight, let me know what help you need and I can get some volunteers.
Anything else, Mr. Brown?
That's all I have.
Mr. Long?
Yes, I want to ask the sheriff.
They didn't bring the answer with me.
Yes, you did. You know, it seems like the traffic is really increasing now when school let out for high school and elementary. You know, at one time, we thought about, we were pushing for some type of light. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what do you think? You think the situation that you have now is fine or what?
I think my best answer is I'd prefer to have a light there. And I know what VDOT's going to say, it's based on crash data. And I don't want to wait for a crash.
Right.
For one of my deputies to get hit before we can put a light there. So that's my answer.
I agree with that, and I think we need to push VDOT again on that.
It's a public safety issue.
Yes, sir.
And we've had some fender benders there.
Yeah, with the deputies directing traffic and not to their fault.
Right. Yeah, that's been on my mind. I wanted to ask you, so I think we need to talk to VDOT the next time we have them about doing something.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have.
All right, Mr. Williams?
Just an update on the Great Wycomico rock pile, and Mr. Basie, you may have more information on this, I'm not sure, but it sounds like a marker's going to be put on that in the coming days, and it will have a light that will illuminate at night, a white light. And Mr. Coward says that VMRC is not going to require a permit for that to be placed there. So, do you know anything extra or to add to that?
Actually, the gentleman that we were in contact with emailed this afternoon.
Mr. Gunn?
Mr. Gunn. And I just got it this afternoon, so I have not gotten a chance to review it, but that's the application that goes to the U.S. Coast Guard. So that I've got to review that, sign that, and then we'll get that submitted.
You're saying they intend on putting a light?
A buoy with a light.
Who's going to maintain that light?
I don't think anybody's going to be responsible for maintaining it.
Well, the buoy is temporary.
Yeah, okay.
It'll be nice to have something on that rock pile.
Yeah. Hope they put it after the hurricane.
I hope we don't get any hurricane.
That's the big old.
You're right about that.
That's what I was coming.
We don't need any of them.
Oh, Lord.
Anything else, Mr. Williams?
That's it.
I'm just going to thank the board for everything they've done here so far tonight. I think we've made some accomplishments. And thank the public for all their comments. I don't have anything else. I'm not going to carry it on any further.
You going to have 7 meetings next month?
Try to have 8.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't like that odd number. I want an even number.
No, I tell you what, I had 9 now. I was working on.
You want 9?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Long, we'll see if we can have 9 meetings.
9 meetings.
And I'll go along to odd number.
Right.
All right. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, that does us of everything except going into closed meeting.
Okay, I might.
All right, need
Don't
a-
correct me if I'm wrong.
Need a break, Ms. Long?
I'm not involved in
You all right? Okay. Mr. Tadlock?
All right, I need a motion that the Northumberland County Board of Supervisors convene and close meeting pursuant to Virginia Freedom of Information Act, Section 2.23711A1 for the discussion and consideration of personnel matters, Section 2.23711A8 for consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by a public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel, Section 2.23711A29, discussion of the award of public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews of bidders or offers and discussion of the terms or scope of such contract where discussion in open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body. Invited to attend the closed meeting as necessary are the county administrator, county attorney, Sheriff Beecham, Philip Marston, Mary Dodson, and assistant county administrator as they are deemed necessary, and their presence will reasonably aid the board in consideration of the topics to be discussed pursuant to Virginia FOIA Section 2.23712F.
All right, can I have a motion, gentlemen?
Make motion.
I do have a second.
Second.
I got a motion, second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, all those against. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in closed meeting. Thank everyone for coming tonight. You are welcome to wait. I do
Mr.
not
Long.
know how long we'll be.
Mr. Long.
Yeah.
That the Northumberland Board of Supervisors return to public meeting and certify by roll call vote that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia Freedom of Information Act and as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered during the closed meeting.
All right, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second it.
Motion is second. Roll call vote. Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Long? Aye. Mr. Brand?
Aye.
Mr. Fisher?
Aye.
Mr. Haney votes aye. We're now back in open meeting. First item of business is what we want to do on...
You want to do the resolution for the retirement?
Let's do the resolution first.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve the resolution.
All right, got a motion, a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All against, aye.
All right, next item is for employee number 10173 to move that individual to the position with the salary of $64,952.34 and add additional $10,000 to that salary, so it would be a total of $74,952.34.
I'll make a motion, we do it. Second.
I got a motion, second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right.
The second employee is employee number 10149, to increase that individual's salary by $10,000 for a total salary of $74,598.52.
Got a motion, second?
Motion to approve.
All right. Second. I got a motion, second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right.
Next item we have is for the Department of Emergency Services. We did have Ms. Bowles complete the paramedic program, so asking for an increase to that salary. So the new salary would be $53,599.26.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, got a motion, second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All against? All right. What else you have, Mr. Tadlock?
That was it.
That's it? All right, y'all want to wait till 12 o'clock before we go?
You can.
All right, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, motion to adjourn. Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Mr. Gregory, I wish we could have kept you a little bit longer.